Yeah, it took me 40 plus years to tell you what I'm about to tell you in 14 minutes. So basically, you know, really, I'm 42 years old, and I've been, I've learned a lot of things throughout my life, and some of these things it's just gonna stay with me for the rest of my life. And so, one of the things that I've learned throughout my life is that almost nobody in this world will care about you as much as you think. And so, yes, we all grew up during our childhood at school making friends and whatnot and talking to people. And, you know, some of those friendships last well beyond graduation, and some die within, within days. It could be that somebody who first wanted to was acting like they wanted to be your friend, but then they turned out that they wanted something out of you. You know, maybe that might be they might come up to you every day and ask you for your lunch money and stuff. I've had one of my classmates do that. Um, Come up to me and say that I'm his best friend, but yet he wants 50 cents or a quarter from me every day. And so eventually I cut him off, and to this day we don't talk. I've actually reached out to him, and I asked him because he didn't seem to remember us being friends. And I asked him, what's up? Why aren't we friends no more? Because we actually stopped being friends. We were friends from third grade to sixth grade, and I reached out to him like last year and asked him. I just wanted to get his perspective on why we stopped being friends, and he told me that we never stopped being friends. That I'm still cool with him and everything. You see, and that's when I told him, do you remember when you used to ask me from third grade to sixth grade for lunch money every day, and then you used to tell people that we were best friends. And so once I stopped doing that, we stopped being friends. He didn't say nothing to me after that. He was my friend on Facebook, and I messaged him that I'll show that conversation to you one day, and I'll tell the story one day in the future in one of my future videos. But I just wanted to touch on it because this video is about what I've learned in my 42 years of life here on Earth, and that you know from what I've seen, people don't really care about you for who you are. They care about what they can get out of you. And so that's why these days I just keep most people at arm's length. There's only one or two people in my whole life that I feel like that truly cares about me. And so those people I actually try to help out as much as I can. Everybody else, it has to be a trade, some kind of trade off. And so and today I was also supposed to have gotten paid back what I let this woman borrow, because her car got towed for non-payment of her car payment. And so so this was like back a few weeks ago. She turned to me and asked, and she was wondering how she can come up with $1,000 in order to get her car back and stuff. And without going into details, like the fool that I am, I went ahead and came up with $1,000 and let her borrow it. But I made her sign a contract saying that she has to pay me back by today, February the 14th. That she agreed to pay back the amount that I let her borrow plus the interest. That's going to accrue by today. And I called her twice today, and she didn't respond. So looks like I'm going to have to take this to the next level. Since I do have the contract, I can take it up a notch in order to get my money back. So anyway, so that's another lesson too, that you just can't help just anybody, especially if you just met them. And I met this girl, and this woman, she's actually older than me. She's in her early 50s, and when I called, as a matter of fact, when I called her earlier this week, she told me that she had a birthday, and how come I couldn't wish her happy birthday? I told her because I don't celebrate. I'm not wishing nobody happy birthday. I got my own things to deal with, including you paying me back my money. And so she wasn't really happy about that, and then she hung up on me, and I called her back, and she answered, and I told her, I'm just trying to I'm just wondering when I'm going to get am I going to get my money before today, so I can pay these people back the loan that I took out on her behalf, So I really, it's nobody's fault but mine that I don't even know why I actually kind of felt sorry for her. That was kind of my downfall, just feeling sorry for people in their sob stories. And they try to get something out of you, and when they get it out of you, then they don't want to pay you. They don't want to do nothing to pay you back. They don't want to do right by you. So that's part of the reason why I keep most people at arm's length. So with this situation, it just kind of hardens me. I'm not gonna loan out money to people anymore without some kind of collateral up front, which is worth more than what I loan out. That's what I should have done in this situation with this woman who owes me the $1,000, which she is supposed to pay me back today. So, yeah, and that's just something that I wanted to talk about when it comes to dealing with people in general, and what I've learned throughout my 40 plus years of life. You can't rely on people at their word. You have to put everything in writing, and you also have to not trust people. Be too trusting of people. People will have to earn your trust over time. You can't be too kind to people. You definitely can't be too nice to people. You have to stick to your principles when it comes to what you will do and what you won't do for people and to people. I just, so these instances are the reason why I have no faith in people in general. People are I see that people are out for themselves, so I have to be out for myself as well. I have to adjust and adapt to my environment, whatever that might be, in order so that I don't become a doormat. People will want you. People would love for you to be a doormat, and that's not good for you to be. You don't want to be something that people can walk upon and take from you, and you get nothing. You get absolutely nothing but pain and misery. You don't want to be a doormat. No. As a matter of fact, in my own hometown, I know someone who is a doormat that could have easily have been me. He works at McDonald's, mopping floors and cleaning up after people. He seemed to be kind of off in the head, but people seem to like him though. People seem to. I've actually talked to him a couple of times, and one of the main things he complained about is people not picking up after themselves. People not being considerate. And I just thought to myself, man, I'm glad I'm not a janitor here in this hometown, because at one point I used to be a sacker at this local grocery store called Brooksters, and part of my job was to clean up after people, and I hated that too. And people would be friendly towards me, but I just wasn't content at what I was doing. So, and our manager wasn't willing to move me up to cashier, wasn't willing to promote me or anything. So, and I wasn't really getting along with the manager in general, the store director. So I decided to leave and go to go to Domino's, where that work environment was much more relaxed and fun. There, I might dare say, because I was a delivery driver delivering pizzas and stuff as an 18-year-old, and I just had to leave that toxic environment working at the grocery store called Brookshires, because it just wasn't for me. Even though people seem to love me being there and stuff, I just wasn't willing to sacrifice popularity. I wasn't willing to be miserable in order to be popular. I'd much rather be happy and unpopular than to be miserable and popular. And that's what I've seen with this classmate that works at McDonald's. I don't know if he's still there, because I haven't gone there in a long time. But I just could, when I looked at him and talked to him, I said to myself, I couldn't do that. I couldn't be a floor mat. I couldn't be cleaning up after people in order to be popular. I'd rather be unpopular or even hated and be happy and be or at least content, than to be miserable and loved by everybody seemingly. So that's another example of a lesson that I've learned, is that you just can't please, even no matter what you do, you'll never please everybody. And trying to please everybody will just make you look like a fool. And I've learned that as a classmate, in middle and high school as well. Because I wanted to be popular, and no matter what I did, I never reached the popularity that I wanted, because I the only way that I actually got more respect was when I played football, and when I was a defensive end tackling quarterbacks on the junior varsity games that they held at the school and in other cities. I was okay, but I wasn't good enough to be on varsity or get a scholarship for that reason. That's why I quit on sports in order to work at Brookshires in the first place, because I wanted to make my own money. And so that was my first time in my life as a junior in high school, starting to think for myself, what is best, what is best for me. What I didn't want to do what everybody else wanted me to do, which was to continue to play football, and hopefully, and just hope that I get put on varsity, and hope that I get a scholarship, and hope that I become good enough to play football in college and whatnot. I knew that I wasn't very good in football, and football was not my passion. And so that's why I just went ahead and quit all that and just started working in order to make my own money, because up to then I was relying on my parents to give me an allowance, so to speak, and they weren't. And my mother, my mother, the people in my life, they were struggling themselves. So I mean, I didn't want to just be relying on my mother and other people in my family in order to make money or get money. I wanted to get money for myself, and so that's what I did at the age of 16, I think, as a junior in high school. Or actually, I've been wanting a job since I was a freshman in high school. I wanted to make my own money. I was tired of relying on other people to give me money. So I guess that kind of leads to the next lesson I learned throughout my 40 plus years on Earth, is that you have to do what's best for yourself, and things are not going to come to you. You have to go to it. You have to pursue opportunities that may come your way. And so I've done that in my life, and it has paid dividends. Like for instance, like a few years ago, before the pandemic, I saw an ad in local newspapers mentioning that there was pieces of land that was being auction off at the courthouse, and I saw that one of those pieces of land was my neighbor's property. And I told my neighbor, "Hey, check this out. Your land is up, your family land is up for sale. You might want to look into making sure that they don't auction it off." And he was like, "I don't care about that. That was my brother's land. He didn't pay the taxes on it, so let it go to the county." I was determined to get that for myself. I didn't want the county to get. I didn't want someone else to get that land. I wanted to get that land for myself. So I went ahead and went to that tax auction and bid it on that piece of land. It was 2 acres, and I got it. So that was the first time that I owned real estate. Back in 2018. I think I was in my late 30s when I first owned real estate. So that was just an example of me going and pursuing opportunities for myself. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about what I've learned throughout my 40 years of living on this earth, all the lessons that I've learned. It's not really all of it, but some of the major ones that I've learned. All right, so like and subscribe and share this video, and I'll talk to you later.